Hey everybody, hope you had a fantastic weekend. Ended up reading this book. Took a couple days to do it. I wouldn't recommend it. It's a decent book. There's nothing wrong with it. It didn't do anything for me as far as give me any tips or anything of that nature. It basically talks about that the majority of people get to, 0 to $500,000, and that's where most people, but, then to become a millionaire, and then 5 million and 10 million. And if I'm not mistaken, I think now that the high net worth is considered to be 10 million. So, like I said, it just didn't do much for me at all. I got it as a recommendation from somebody, but I wouldn't say, nah, not one of the better financial books that I've read. However, I did go up to North Carolina, saw my mom for a couple days. That was real good, beautiful area. I really want to buy some property up there, and I'm about to get one of my properties up and going. I had some Walmart stock, and so I needed about $12,000 to get this house finished. And so I'm like, I'm going to make a whole lot more by renting that house out than I am by having this Walmart stock. So let me go ahead and sell it, and then I'll take that proceed and we'll get this house going. So it will, I'll get central heat and air put in, not this week, but the following week. I'll go ahead and get the painter lined out, get him started on it this week. And once the central heat and air is done, then I'll have to buy the flooring, put it in there, let it get acclimated to the temperature, and then we'll go from there. All right. So we've got our walk in for the day, did our 1.5 miles. Let's talk about that. Health is wealth, okay? Simple fact is your chance of heart disease is decreased by 20% if you walk 1 mile a day at least 3 times a week. Small price to pay, folks, to make your life a whole lot better. Just get out and walk a little bit. You ain't got to go to the gym. You don't have to get 6-pack abs. You don't have to get ripped, jacked, none of that, okay? You don't have to give up the pizza. Just walk. Just a little walking like that, So we want to be in abundance. We want to be in prosperity. But guess what? We want to be able to enjoy it. We want to be healthy with our abundance. So just a little reminder for you and everything. I'm getting a shower. We're going to go to the job site. I'll be in touch. All right, we're here at the job site. And as you can see, we still got a lot of work to do. It's coming along little bit by bit and everything like that. But it's going to be beautiful when I get done with it. What I was doing just now, I was watching a video having to do with some stocks and growth stocks, dividend stocks. And the thing about it is that, you really should be giving yourself at least 30 minutes a day on studying having to do with money. And the thing about it is that the vast majority of people don't. They kind of stick their head in the sand, think that it's going to go away. All of a sudden one day they're just going to wake up and poof, retirement money's going to be there. Or, they've regulated themselves to thinking, okay, well, I'm going to make it on $1,400 a month when I'm, 65, 70, or I'm just going to, what I hear a lot of times, I'm just going to have to work till the day I die, Now, anybody that thinks that's going to be fun or the way to do things, you probably should unsubscribe to my channel, because we don't buy into that at all. All right, we're all about abundance. We're all about prosperity. The more money you got, the better the food you can purchase, better quality food. The more money you have, the more people you can help, the more choices you get, the more freedom that equates to. And some people say, money does not buy happiness. Well, go spend some money on Christmas for presents, Christmas for some grandkids, and tell me if you don't see some happiness with those kids opening the presents, The thing is that I do believe money can buy happiness to a certain degree, and if you haven't experienced that, you haven't given enough away yet. I'm going to be real happy when I get this whole place done, get situated, get my office back, my whiteboards up with all my numbers and information and everything. But this right here is a couple of the ETFs and stocks that I just heard about. Always take that information, put it down, and do some research. You never know when you're going to hit next home run because of something that somebody else said. But whatever you do, just because you hear about it, don't go out and purchase it. Do your research first, then make a purchase if it looks like it's a good performing stock or ETF. One of the things that helps me the most with being successful is this: taking action quickly. I see so many times about, people, a guy was crying on Facebook about needing work and everything. I sent him a message, said, hey, give me a call. 2 days later, I get a message. Oh man, I was on my way to someplace, and I was riding my e-bike and I got sideswiped. I was at the hospital, and thankfully I'm just banged up, nothing broke or anything like that. I still ain't got a phone call from the guy. But amazingly enough, he must not be starving that bad, or he hasn't been able to figure out that jobs coming in equals taking action, which means pick up telephone to get possible new work, new customer. And it never ceases to amaze me. And I can't tell you how many times I've had people contact me. Man, I really want to get on. I want your coaching. I really like what you do. I love watching you do these things with these houses. I want to build a rental portfolio. I don't want to work anymore. I want to leave generational wealth to my kids and everything like that. Okay, this, and this. All right. I'm going to call you Friday. You know damn good and well they ain't calling Friday. If they did, it would surprise me, okay? The thing about it is that when you take action, making a commitment. And the reality of the situation is we as humans love freedom and choices. So, and like one of the things I've noticed with my rentals is, people say, hey man, do you have any houses for rent? And I would always say, what are you looking for and what's your budget? Well, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 3 bedroom, 1 bath, $1,600 a month. And then you'll show them exactly what they're looking for. Well, I don't really know about this, or, I'm not sure. Let me call you back and stuff like that. And so now what I've done is I just send them everything that I've got available, let them make their choice, okay? The thing about it is that when people start saying yes, they're losing control. And they don't like to do that. And they don't like to sign up for coaching. But they don't understand that on the other side of that is going to be prosperity and abundance and doing something different, okay? However, staying comfortable where we're at has a much better payoff than the unknown, okay? And then so many times, it was like this weekend I was talking with somebody and they got fear of failure. And I had suggested them doing something to make some money, and they're like, well, I just don't know if I can do it, And it's like, you know what? You're right. You are absolutely right. You probably can't. Me, I don't want to walk around with regret. That's what I have, is the fear of regret. And so when I come up with an idea, just because I get the idea doesn't mean I execute on it. I do have a process that I go through with it. And, right now I'm in a season where I've really been able to hone in that so much of what I do, I'm looking for an emotional spike or an emotional overload, so to speak. And I've got properties that are sitting and they need to be repaired so I can get them rented. But I still like looking at other houses and everything, and I still think about adding to my portfolio. But is it better to have 100 houses that aren't rented, or is it better to have 10 houses that are cash flowing that are rented? That's it exactly, okay? And so the thing is that cash flow is king. And properties that are rented make you money. Properties that aren't rented cost you money. I don't make the rules, but I do have to play by them. The thing about it is that taking action, okay? You know, I can't tell you how many times I have people that call me. They want work, they want a place to live, they want this, they want that. And then it's like crickets, they're dragging their feet. And, you know, this weekend I had somebody, you know, that's wanting to get into business for themselves. And I know somebody that did it exactly the way that this person is looking to do it. And they wouldn't mind staying working for somebody if they were to have an opportunity to make decent money. And the person that I called that did it just the way that they would do it has that position open. And I went back to that person. I said, call this person. They've done it exactly the same way you have. They said they would tell you everything that you need to know. But they also have a position open if you want to stay working for somebody else, but with these opportunities, and they'll put them in writing, okay? None of this, well, hey, we're going to reward you, we're going to do this. It's going to be in writing. Well, guess what? As of 48 hours later, no, ring, 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 no phone call. Might have started thinking about how bad their back is going to hurt because they're pushing a wheelbarrow full of money. I don't know what the hesitation comes from, but again, you're going to be making a commitment. Just the same as every time somebody gives me an excuse and I give them a way to get around that excuse, or I show them somebody that's overcome that excuse, well, guess what? That gives them something less to be able to whine and complain about. And you know, if you whine and complain, you get a lot of attention from other people. So, Monday message to you. Look at your money. Spend 30 minutes a day on money, how money works, making more money, and then taking some action. So go ahead and take your 30 minutes for today, take that action, and then if something else comes up, go ahead and take action on it as soon as possible. So many people will call me and say, hey, you know, I know somebody's got a piece of land, I got a house that they want to sell. I make it a point to call them within 10 minutes. You let an hour go by, 2 hours a day, and more than likely they're calling somebody else. And normally the first one to get to it is the one that's going to get it. Have a wonderful day.